Hello and welcome back or welcome to another episode of Mindful Up Levels. I am so happy to be here and I'm so happy that you're here. It's been a little minute since I have uploaded or recorded a episode, which I can go into why, but that's a whole other episode. I'm sure that'll come at some point. But anyways, I'm happy to be here and I would love to know where you guys are listening to this. Like I know one of my friends listens while she does her hair on Sunday mornings. And then I know another one of my friends told me once she was listening on her walk. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's just so cool to know who's listening and when and where they're listening. Like it makes it feel just more real and exciting to know that there are people listening on the other side. So let me know if you want to. What did I ask you? Let me know. Did I even say the question? Let me know. Let me know. Like, do you like to listen to it on walk? Like, when do you like to listen to it? Okay. So, I don't know exactly what this episode's going to be called yet. I think it's going to be something along the lines of this is why you're not getting what you want or something like that. I don't know. That's kind of vague. We'll see. But the reason that this feels like the best topic for today is definitely relevant for me. And I always just think that, well, first of all, I also like tune into my intuition to see like what would be most useful for you guys. And it always feels like what is kind of relevant for me is like kind of relevant for you. Okay, so I would love to know, those of you listening, I want to know like how familiar you guys are with the subconscious mind. Like, I mean, for me personally, a few years ago, I want to say maybe like back in 2021, when I first started learning about the subconscious mind, I mean, I always knew, like, I guess that a subconscious mind existed, but I did not really understand it. Like, I had no idea it was this thing that was like ruling our lives. Like, 95% of our actions and beliefs and thoughts and all that are coming from our subconscious, and only 5% of it is actually conscious. Like, this is like a humongous thing, and we're like not taught it. Like, I was literally in my early 20s when I really started learning about it. And then the past few years, I just like full force am learning about this thing because hello, it literally rules our freaking life. Of course we should learn about it, understand it. And I was just thinking about it the other day. I was like, how wild is it that we're so lucky our brains are malleable, because we can literally rewire our freaking brain. We can give ourselves a new brain with a new life. Like, that is crazy. So anyway, I'm just curious how familiar everyone is. And today, what I want to talk about, let me give you like a real life example just so you can kind of see. So what I am working on right now, the change that I guess is like most top of mind for me, is a lifestyle change, meaning like healthier food choices and also prioritizing movement, which I feel like I am good at movement because I will make sure that I go on a walk every day. But also more than that, I also want to be like doing more types of exercises where what's the right word I'm looking for? Like, it's more, I'll burn more calories, I guess. I don't really know the right word here. Vigorous is not the right word. I don't know. Maybe you guys understand what I'm saying. Moving on. That is my goal right now. And this is a huge, huge shift for me, identity shift for me, because growing up, I have always, for as long as I can remember, I've always found comfort in food. Not healthy food. I'm talking like snacks, fast food type of vibe. Yeah, just like if I was sad or irritated or angry or even happy, like if I was sad, I would cheer myself up with food. If I was happy about something, I would celebrate with food. And it's just always like been in my identity that I just like get so excited over like the most unhealthy, greasiest foods, and like I'll always choose that over anything else. And obviously, like, I will never make myself never eat these things again. Like I will never like cold turkey, is that the right word? Fast food or anything like that. Like I'll absolutely treat myself. This is more so just like I want to, or I'm choosing to shift my identity more over towards someone who will most of the time pick the healthier thing and prioritize grocery shopping and meal prepping and meal planning and like knowing what I'm going to eat that week and having it prepared for myself and things like that. And then so that and like exercise too, like as you can imagine, is like a pretty big lifestyle change. And this is something that I've attempted in the past and I've tried ways that never stuck. And so now that I actually know so much more about the subconscious mind and how identity shifts really work and everything, now I am putting that into practice in order to slowly shift my lifestyle instead of in the past doing like this kind of like overnight thing, like going 0 to 100, just like an overnight switch of trying to show up perfectly and like making all the quote perfect choices for this lifestyle. Like that is just not sustainable. That is overwhelming for anybody. That's why they say just aim for 1% better every day. Also, what would really get me too is the black or white, all or nothing thinking. Like, for example, and I know I'm using like health and fitness as an example, but you can apply this to anything in life. So for example, like maybe one week I'd be doing really quote good. I don't really like good and bad, but anyway, doing quote good and going to the gym, eating healthy foods, whatever. And then maybe I slip. Maybe I have a goal of not getting fast food during the weekdays, but maybe on a Wednesday I get a Chick-fil-A for lunch. And then I would be like, okay, well, I slipped. I got Chick-fil-A for lunch. Well, the rest of the week is downhill. Might as well go back to all my old habits that I don't want to continue. And then what is it? Okay, I'll start fresh next week. Next week comes, you make another little slip and boom. Oh, well, I might as well just trash the whole week. And so what's been helping me a lot now is, let's say I do quote slip and I do like what I just said. Like, for example, if I have a goal of not wanting to get fast food during the week and then I get fast food during the week, what I do now is, I was going to talk about this later, but okay, I guess I'll just bring it up now because something I was going to say later is we want to be aware of how we're moving, but we don't want to shame. So like, let's say I get this fast food on the weekday. I don't want to shame myself and be like, oh my God, Kiana, why did you do that? We said we weren't going to do this anymore and you did it and blah, blah, blah. Now this is horrible. Like, what I did instead is I'm like, okay, sorry, I got a phone call. I got distracted. I think I was saying, oh yeah. So what I would do then is be like, okay, how did I get here? Like what happened to make me have to get fast food during the weekday when I didn't want to do that? And so I've been noticing a lot where I'm like, okay, I need to put systems in place for myself because like, for example, right now I'm realizing I need to create this habit of planning my meals for the week because right now I don't really have that habit in place. So sometimes it would happen, sometimes it wouldn't because it wasn't like a set in stone really habit thing for me. So I had grace for myself. I'm like, okay, you know what? I got this Chick-fil-A because I didn't have food at home to like make myself a proper meal. So I was like, okay, well, I need to get food. So then I chose to get Chick-fil-A. We don't need to shame ourselves. We don't need to be so critical of ourselves. It's just noticing. It's becoming aware. And it's not like excusing it, because I feel like if we're excusing it, then it's something that can keep happening. But it's like, it's more so understanding it. So when I chose to understand it, I was able to be like I just said, oh, okay, I didn't meal plan for the week, so I wasn't prepared. I didn't have the stuff at home to like make a meal. I think I kind of went on a tangent. I kind of got ahead of myself. I didn't mean to talk about that until later, but what I initially wanted to start with, but you know, everything happens for a reason. We went there for a reason. What I wanted to start with is letting you know that if you want something and like consciously you want your life to look a certain way. And you're living about your day, you're living about your life, and your life just isn't looking that way. You're like, this isn't what I want. Like, maybe you're thinking, why do I keep kind of doing the same things, repeating the same things? Why do the same things keep happening? Like, I want this change, but why isn't it actually changing? Well, remember what I said in the beginning of the episode about how we are operating from our subconscious 95% and only 5% of it is conscious. So even though you may consciously want something, we are most of the time moving from our subconscious. So whatever our subconscious beliefs are, those are driving our actions. We sometimes have beliefs in our subconscious that we don't even realize are there. You may be saying you want something, but your subconscious beliefs are not aligned with what you're consciously saying that you're wanting. So you're not actually living that out. You're living out your subconscious beliefs. So there is part of you that maybe does not actually want these changes that you're saying you want. There's something called secondary gains, which means even though you have this thing that you may view as a bad habit, it's hard to get rid of it because you are gaining something from it. Like, for example, choosing to stay at home and, watch Netflix over going to the gym. Maybe going to the gym is what would give you the actual results that you want and actually help you reach your goals. But staying at home and watching Netflix feels a lot better because it's easier. It's more fun, maybe. It's more relaxing. So you are gaining something from these, quote, bad habits that you are trying to change. So something you can ask yourself, for this thing that you want, whatever it may be, whether it's a relationship or money or a job or whatever it is, a house, you could ask yourself, what bad thing happens if I get or do XYZ? And if it's something you really want, you might be saying, no bad thing is going to happen. What do you mean? Like, maybe it's money. You're like, Kiana, what are you talking about? Nothing bad happens if I get money. Like, obviously I want money. Well, just sit with it, tune in, and free write. Oh my gosh, free writing is amazing. Like, just write, keep on writing. And that is like the doorway to your subconscious. Like, when I'm journaling, you'll be surprised what comes up. Like, even if you're writing and you're like, okay, I really don't know what to say right now, write that. Say, I don't know what to say right now. Keep on moving your hand and just see what comes out, because there are so many reasons why you wouldn't want something, even if you're not quite seeing it right now. Like, for example, money. Maybe if you get money, you're going to feel like, maybe people will think I'm greedy if I have this much money, or maybe I'll feel inclined to have to pay for everyone in my life, and like, if I have all this money and they don't, then I'll feel guilty, and oh my gosh, if I have all this money now how am I going to manage it? That feels like a lot of responsibility. Like, just see what comes up with that question. What bad thing happens if I get or do this? You could also ask yourself, what will I lose, or who will I lose? Like, maybe if you have a goal of being an entrepreneur, you could subconsciously be like, oh my gosh, well, if I am my own boss, what kind of beliefs are there? Everyone can have different kinds of beliefs going on. You could have a belief of like, oh, well, if I'm an entrepreneur, then I'm going to be working 24/7. I'm going to have to work so hard. It's going to be all work and no play. So just see what's there. See what subconsciously is making you be like, actually, maybe I don't really want that thing. Okay. So now how can well, first of all, that's a very important step, because awareness is everything. Awareness is everything. If we want to shift these beliefs, we have to know they're there, right? So first step, awareness. Then we need to know the bigger picture. We need to have this vision, this juicy vision, our very clear why we're doing something, why we want something. I mean, think about kids. If you ask them to do something, they're like, why? But why? And we're the same way, honestly. Like, why am I doing this? Why? So, like, for example, the gym. I know that I want to go to the gym because I have certain goals that it would help me with. But I am not someone that like loves going to the gym. Like it's not an easy thing for me. I'm not like, oh my gosh, yay, the gym. Like I love that place, my happy place. Let's go. So it's a little bit more challenging for me to actually get myself to go there. So find what that vision is for you. Like what's the bigger picture here? Why do I want to go to the gym? Or whatever your goal is. Why do you want it? Like if you are working on creating a business, why? Why are you creating this business? Because there's going to be times where there's things along the journey that you are like not really going to feel like doing. But if you have your clear why on why you're doing this and how it's going to get you more of what you want, then you're more inclined to do it. And have it be like as clear as you can get it. Because when you have that vision and that strong why, you won't need to rely on like motivation and willpower to get you to do something. Like it's gonna like you're gonna naturally feel inclined, you're gonna naturally feel that pull. Like I think back to when I first had a spiritual awakening, you could say, back in like 2021, and it was amazing because I was just living my whole life thinking that I was just destined to be miserable forever. Like I was not feeling my best, and I just thought that is like how I had to be forever. And so when I started waking up to the fact that, oh, you can actually change your thoughts, you can actually change your life, I all of a sudden was like over time just getting this clearer picture of what I wanted out of my life, which I never thought about before. I never would think about the future. I never would think about what I wanted. I just never thought about it. And so when I started thinking about it, and when I started getting this clear vision, oh my gosh, I was taking so much action. And if you listen to my last episode, this was the period of time where maybe I was taking a little bit too much action. It's like a pendulum. We never want to be swinging too much on one side, way too much action or way too not action at all. Like we want to, be balanced. But anyways, point in me bringing that up was I had this clear vision and I was just going for it. Like, let me put this into perspective for you. I started showing up online to start creating a coaching business. And you guys, when I tell you, I like in like growing up, high school, college, whatever, so socially anxious, and like even posting on my story, like if it was a friend's birthday and I literally was just posting a picture of me and said friend for their birthday, oh my gosh, so much anxiety just doing that. And then I was showing up online, literally talking in front of a camera and starting a podcast too. Like I just couldn't believe it. Like it's just wild to look back and see like how much I just went for it because I was so clear on what I was creating and why I was creating it. So yeah, I just think about that when I'm like, oh my gosh, like the vision really is everything. The bigger picture, the why. So something you could do is sit with this and journal it out, like write out this vision. And, I feel like when you're writing it out, it doesn't have to be set in stone. Like you can always come back to it and change it, add more, whatever. Maybe you could there's so many different ways you could go about this. You could like pretend you're writing like as your future self, like pretend you're your future self, whether it's like a year, 5 years, however far in advance you want to do it. And you're writing back to this version of you, this present version of you, like telling them all that's happened. And you could read this every morning to remind yourself of your why. I used to have mine up on like a little chalkboard type thing on my wall, and I would look at it every morning. It made me so happy. I want to add something. So I'm just like reviewing what we've gone over so far, and I feel like first step was that awareness. So getting clear on why we subconsciously may not want something. Something else you could ask yourself. So we already said like what bad thing happens if you do get it or do it, and who or what could you lose. Another thing to ask yourself is where these beliefs came from. It's helpful to get to the root as well. So maybe it came from family or friends or teachers or society, whatever it may be. That's helpful to know. And maybe you have like memories attached to these as well. So you may have heard me talk about EFT tapping before. So I love to tap on these memories and these beliefs because what you're doing in tapping is you are tapping on the energetic meridian points of your body. And so when you are feeling the feelings, like when you're feeling these limiting beliefs or you're feeling the memories associated with them, and then you're tapping, it's like emotional release, like you are releasing the emotions that are attached with it. So things could happen, like you could cry, you could yawn. These are all great. They're signs that you are releasing the emotions. So first we do that, and then afterwards tapping in the beliefs that I would rather believe. Okay, so flipping your beliefs, flipping those limiting beliefs that you had, and instead thinking what you would rather believe and tapping that in. So tapping on the energetic meridian points and saying the beliefs that you would rather believe. Let me know if you guys want to know like more about EFT tapping. I can send you resources and also tell you about the monthly membership that I'm in. Oh my god, shout out to my friend Haley Hoffman Smith. I have been in her Dream Away tapping membership for like almost 3 years now, I think. And I love it there. And I've met some of my bestest friends in there too. So I'm obsessed because we do things like this, the subconscious breakthrough, like the types of questions I just told you guys, and tapping all together. It's so fun. Okay. So yes, awareness, first step. Then the vision. Knowing why you're doing something, having your clear why. And that's fun too, like while I'm going throughout the day and I'm like at the point where I'm making the decision, like, okay, am I showing up how, the old story, like is the action I'm about to do gonna keep prolonging the old story, or am I stepping into the new story? And so in those moments, it's really helpful to remember the vision and remember why I'm doing something. And it's like, okay, like this is getting me more of feeling good. Like, for example, a huge reason that I want to start eating healthier is to just feel better in my body, feel more tapped into my intuition, just feel healthier, feel lighter. And so when it comes to the decision of like, okay, I could choose to go get KFC right now, or I could choose to, make my protein smoothie that I've been loving. I can think, ooh, how will I feel after I have the protein smoothie? Is it gonna make me feel the healthier, lighter version that I want to feel? Yes. Okay, great. Let's do it. And then this also brings me to the third and I guess last point of what I was kind of talking about earlier. We want to be aware of how we're showing up, right? Like we want to know how we're showing up so that we can make sure we are showing up the way we want to reach our goals and the lifestyle of our choice. Now, this is where things can get a little messy, a little tricky if we have to be very just, mindful of how we're talking to ourselves and just making sure that we are having grace and compassion for ourselves. I mean, remember, your brain has been wired this way for like a bajillion years. Okay, maybe not a bajillion years, but a couple decades, however old you are. Your brain has been wired like this. Like you are literally rewiring your brain. That is not an easy task, okay? So have grace for yourself. You're changing the way you're living, the way that you have been living for so long. You're changing it. Like, just please have grace for yourself. And I know when you're first starting having compassion for yourself, I talked about this in another episode, I know it can feel like awkward and weird, but just keep going at it and it'll start to feel more normal. And also something that's helpful too is if there's ever anything in your life that you're like having a hard time having compassion for yourself, pretend like your best friend or someone you love is telling you the same thing. What would you tell them? And tell it to yourself. So, yes, become aware of how you're showing up. Like, be mindful of how you're showing up that day, but Instead of shaming yourself, try to understand yourself. If you have whatever your goal is, like my goal being not wanting to get fast food on a weekday, and then I got fast food on a weekday, seeing why did that happen, and then realizing like, okay, I need to have systems in place to where I can help myself reach this goal. Like obviously, if I don't have a habit of meal prepping and meal planning and grocery shopping, then obviously I'm not really setting myself up for success here of having a healthy lifestyle. So I'm like, oh, this is helpful to know. I should do this. So I'm making note of that. This is helpful to know. I'm going to do this now. And I don't need to go down a shame spiral. I don't need to, think the rest of the week is just trashed. Like I can still keep showing up, making the healthier decisions that I want to be making. So for you today, I have an action step for you. It's like one journal prompt besides the ones that we went over earlier, and tied into that is kind of like an action step. So ask yourself, in what ways am I holding myself back? What do I want? And how are my current actions, thoughts, beliefs preventing that? So what's like your biggest goal right now? What area of life are you most focused on? Like what is it that you really want right now? And how is the way that you're showing up now kind of preventing that? And then like also thinking about, well, yeah, I guess you could also think about like what you would have to do. Well, ooh, is that too much? Okay, let's actually say that for next time. This time, I'm going to stop it there, and just because awareness is key. Okay, so let's not overcomplicate things right now. Just becoming aware of in what ways are you actually not showing up in a way to support your goals. Because remember, if we're not aware of something, we can't change it. So awareness is the first step. Okay. I hope that this episode was helpful for you. I hope you learned something. I hope you had some takeaways. And if you did, please let me know. You can let me know in the comments. You can DM me on Instagram. I would love to hear about it. And yeah, so just remember to have grace for yourself. Remember, we got to get our subconscious on board. We've got to get that thing on board. Well, I guess that's it. I don't know why I'm like having trouble ending this right now. I'm like, I don't want to go. I want to keep talking, but no, this feels like the end. So we're going to stop it here. All right. I will see you guys in the next episode. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, night, whenever you're listening to this. Bye.